Is this thing on? And we're back with On Cooldown, your weekly WoW news feed right here at Marcelian&Flame. BlizzCon has ended, and some of us have a bittersweet taste in our mouths. Some, just a taste. In today's episode, we will talk about WoW's future on mobile. Classic WoW demo has been extended to November the 12th, and more upcoming 8.1 changes, buffs and such. Welcome, you magnificent creatures, to On Cooldown, every Friday at Marcelian&Flame. Last week we had BlizzCon, so we took a break. Some say that was a waste of time, but I say that wasn't a waste of time because we got to see the future of Blizzard and made me rethink my career choices.
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
But more Diablo memes later in the video, because we need to skim a bit on some of the new changes for classes in 8.1. Well, changes as in buffs. Yes, we are getting more buffs, they're not just Azerite, and it's really good to see. I haven't played all the classes so far, but if the buffs are as good as the Warlock's one, then this is very promising. For some time now, the Warlock community have commented on and composed a list of changes that they want to see to all specs. For Demonology, we have a few cool talents added since pre-patch that never really saw play because of their underperformance. Demonic Consumption basically makes your Tyrant eat all of your imps and buffs itself. Although we do not have the exact numbers to know how strong it is, once again forcing us to sim Eon, we have some cool changes added to it. For one, the damage is increased by a magical number that Blizzard stated is higher, which is one of the main problems that the talent had so far. Another change to it is the fact that consumed imps contribute to your demonic core procs, since previously they did not, so really the buff is twofold. Not only will we get a bigger, badder demon, but we might get some sweet procs right after. Also, the Tyrant will extend the duration of Nether Portal demons, which brings us to the next change, Nether Portal. Its duration was reduced from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, but it now costs 1 shard down from 3. It's definitely a welcome change. Having the Nether Portal at 1 shard cost leaves us with more shards left to actually start it off. One of the problems it had previously is that you would cast it, and then the first few seconds of its lifetime you would have to generate shards to benefit from it, which is a bit counterintuitive if you ask me. Also, Bile Scourge Bombers had its damage increased. These types of changes have been pitched by the Warlock community, and seeing them addressed is very reassuring. Of course, we have changes across the board, and most likely we'll see more to come. Another big change in 8.1 will be the reduced XP required to level to 110. Leveling in modern WoW is a weird topic. If you want to get access to the latest expansion, you have one boost by buying the expansion, and for your alts, you need to level them through 14 years of content, which you will want to do fast, because who cares how much gear you get from the Cataclysm dungeons. On the other hand, if you level an alt and want to experience the story of a past expansion, you'll probably over-level the zone before you see everything, which is one reason why I think they introduced expansion scaling, so you have a wider level range to do this in. Leveling isn't what used to be, and playing the classic server after all this time has put this system into perspective. Most of us come from a gaming culture where in an RPG leveling up represented your progress, and max level rarely was necessary for endgame content. Of course, this applies differently to MMOs, but part of why I think vanilla WoW had its charm is because the leveling aspect represented your personal progression through the game, and not just a barrier to access the actual content meant to expand the story and your character's gameplay potential. But hey, at this point we are getting both versions of this gameplay, so all's well that ends well, right? On this very note, Classic WoW demo has been extended to November the 12th. Originally it was supposed to be until November the 8th or 9th, but the community graciously asked for more vanilla pain please, and Blizzard delivered. At this point, it feels like we can ask Blizzard pretty much anything and they'll give. Hey, can I ask them for a bigger dick? We pretty much covered the majority of the big changes coming to WoW in patches 8.1 and 8.2 primarily. The upcoming changes look amazing and I cannot wait to give them a go. If you want more details on that, check our previous videos and you will find a lot of cool stuff. But of course, BlizzCon 2018 wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, as most of you know. Granted, the dirty stuff didn't happen on the WoW panel, thank God, but it happened for Blizzard, and Blizzard is doing WoW, so it might affect us in some way. A press conference was done with Wyatt Chang and Alan Adam at BlizzCon for Diablo Immortal. In case you do not know what happened last week, in one of the most shockingly negative receptions of a game presentation, let me clue you in. World of Warcraft was no longer on the main panel, right after the opening ceremony, which historically announces the biggest stuff to come. And that's fair enough. Last year we got the BFA announcement. Not much they can do this year except talk about 8.2, which they did. Because of the poor reception of BFA post-launch and, well, post the first few weeks, Blizzard had to respond to the community with more transparency and general info about what the game will have in the future so as to not lose the community and have them unsubbed. Because of this, we pretty much knew what 8.1 would bring, so the only thing left for them to talk about at BlizzCon was 8.2. Of course, 8.2 had a lot of cool stuff announced, and that was all fine and dandy. However, during the Diablo panel, Diablo Immortal was announced as the next Diablo game, coming exclusively to mobile platforms. I already talked about the presentation in general being out of touch with the community. I personally did not have a problem with the mobile game, and I might actually play it just because I love Blizzard storytelling and I want to know what happens in the game. Although my desire to do so seems to diminish every time I hear more about what the game will bring. It's going to be catered to a wider audience, meaning we won't have as much blood, gore and demonic goodness that we fell in love with that started this community as well. We criticized Blizzard for taking a more light-hearted route to their game design with Diablo 3, and it seems it's going to go even further with Diablo Immortal. This was of course addressed with the Necromancer patch where they added a bit more design oriented towards dark fantasy. Now we all know Diablo 4 is in development, so maybe we will get what we want from their franchise in the end. But the fact that they used a main panel for a mobile game is a bit, well, scary. We are all PC gamers, and even if I play Candy Crush every now and again, I really want to experience the story, gameplay and immersion of a game on the PC, on my big screen with a decent sound system. Why am I talking about this? Well, in a press conference for the Diablo Immortal panel, we got some insight about their plans for mobile games. Alan Adam and Wyatt Chang were asked a bunch of questions regarding Diablo, but one answer stood out.
And we have many of our best developers now working on new mobile titles across all of our IPs.
Yep, multiple IPs have mobile projects in the works. Now, for World of Warcraft, what this meant so far was the Companion app and the Armory app as examples, which I personally thought were cool. Taking some of the mundane activities in WoW, like missions, and putting them on the phone so you can do them on the toilet or in a break at work was a good idea. It took away the need for you to log in and simply redo the missions and then log out. So I thought, oh, they might be doing another app for WoW, which is still more likely than any other thing. WoW cannot be played on mobile. Warcraft cannot be played on mobile. One of them is an RTS that requires precise control of individual units with an accuracy that mobile devices cannot offer at the moment, while the other one is a huge MMO with chaotic movement, reaction and usage of multiple skills to deal with situations. Again, a level of information and control that the mobile platform cannot offer due to their restrictive nature when it comes to controls and limited space to show information on such a small screen. I mean, I have been considering for a few months buying a bigger monitor just to be able to push away to the side some parts of my UI so I can actually enjoy the fight I am in without clutter. Even if the game has been dumbing down on skills for years, we have fewer skills altogether that might fit into a smaller screen. Oh, wait. There we have it, boys, confirmed, WoW on mobile devices. I'm joking, please don't downvote the video. In all honesty, this is pretty amazing to see done and scary at the same time. The game is seemingly played on a mobile platform that is more of a mini PC. Not a phone or a console, but a mini personal computer with actual PC level specs. Although making that type of technology that small is not so impressive at the moment, the fact that the game can actually be played with the controls of a, well, controller shows how the game has evolved, or devolved some would say, over the years. And this was done by somebody over the internet. With the level of resources Blizzard has at its disposal, I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing LFR while taking a dump and laughing at us trying hard with a mouse and keyboard. Now, this is all made in jest. It's fun to speculate some absurd shit that might never happen because, let's be real guys, who in their right mind thinks mobile gaming can be proper gaming, right? Well, I bet my savings account that people thought Diablo, an action RPG that relies on aiming skills and reacting fast to packs of mobs with dangerous affixes, cannot be done without a mouse and keyboard. Yet, we have been playing Diablo 3 on consoles for a few years now. And in the next year, we will be playing it on our freaking phones, man! But yeah, Diablo makes sense, right? They made the controls work, they made the skills fit smoothly on a console UI, they even reduced the max number of people you can have in a party from 8, that we had in Diablo 2, to 4, which is a standard number for couch multiplaying on consoles. Did they think of this beforehand? When they initially released D3? Bet your ass they did. But surely, WoW cannot make it to mobile, right? I mean, we have a gazillion spells to use. Well, we lost a whole bunch. Well, our controls, accuracy and precisions cannot be ported to mobile, right? Well, once again. And there you have it, boys. In 2020, we will have the next expansion, World of Warcraft Candy Azerite Saga, because, as Wyatt accurately said it, we have phones, right? Okay, I feel like I have to say something. This is fun to speculate, but I'm not shitting on Blizzard, nor do I have the intention of doing so. I think the community has done that already, and they know. We are just at a turning point for gaming, where the industry has grown so much and so many people game that we need to increase the accessibility. I love that gaming is a bigger part of our culture. Games promote creativeness and cooperation. It adds a sense of community and unites us on a global scale. And however much I don't want to admit it, mobile phones are the ones that will take it to a newer level. Pretty much everyone has a mobile phone, but not everyone has PCs and consoles. Whatever Blizzard does, as long as it remains high quality and they keep their level of commitment to a game, I'm fine with. Just, Blizzard, please, don't force us to convert to a different platform to play your games. You've built a PC community, one of the arguably largest in the world. Don't sack us for bigger profits. Is all. Thanks for watching today's episode, and if you enjoy our content, make sure to like and subscribe. We appreciate your support and love to see what your thoughts are. See you in the next one.